the Lord. Bwana asifiwe. Wherever you are watching us right here on PrayerCaveTV, glorifying God because of you, wherever you are. I know people are watching us from Kisumu, people are watching us from Meru, people are watching us from Nyeri, and its environs. People are watching us right here in Nairobi City and its environs, in Kiambu, Murang'a, parts of Kajiado, Machakos. We bless God because of you and sticking right there on PrayerCaveTV to watch these amazing programs that we have, these locally produced programs that at the end of it, they are glorifying God. So we thank you. Keep it PrayerCaveTV. Don't touch that dial. And I want to welcome you today to this wonderful show. I know you have been waiting for this amazing show. Remember, we call it Being One Show. And this is what we always say right here on Being One Show, that you can only become one. Become one in marriages and become one in our families. And I'm happy that this has been happening because we have been receiving testimony, comments, and we thank God for that. Keep talking to us on the number on your screen right there, and we are, if there's any comment that needs us to get back to you, we'll definitely do that in good time. So thank you, and God bless you. And today, this is has been the month of June. We always celebrate fathers, and you know, we don't say that it's just a one-day event, but we take this full month of June just to celebrate fathers, because fathers are pillars in our marriages, rather in their marriages, they are pillars in their families, they are pillars in this nation. And you know, a voice of a father is a voice of building, is a voice that constructs. And so today, I'm so happy that I've been joined by a panel of guests today. Not one like we have always had, or two, but today I am hosting fathers. So keep it right there, even as we engage our fathers. So let's get to them so that we can get to know who they are. So karibuni sana, our fathers.
Asante.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to see each one of you. And first of all, thank you for accepting this call to come to this wonderful show. This show, we call it Being One. And I know that is a so responsibility of fathers to make sure that things are becoming one. So karibuni sana tena na tena. So kwa watazamaji wetu, I want us that we introduce yourselves to them so that we can continue. And we can start from the far end. Allow me to start to the far end. Kindly introduce yourselves to us so that our viewers can know who you are.
My name is John Joroge. I am born again. I am a husband and a father of two beautiful children, a boy and a girl.
Amazing. Amazing. Welcome so much, Njoroge.
Thank you.
God bless you for accepting our call. Baba yetu, to introduce.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us to this panel.
Yes.
My name is Joseph Gitau Mwaura, born again,
Yes.
washed by the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
I'm married to a lady known as Elizabeth Gitau.
Wow.
I have two daughters, and also I have a granddaughter.
Wow.
Amen.
Amazing. Thank you. Karibu sana. And our father here, introduce yourself to us.
Hi viewers, my name is David Bogwa Gathege. I'm born again, I'm married for now 32 years. I have a wife, Florence Wareno, and two girls with and 4 grandchildren. I'm blessed.
Amen. Amen. Kweli, kweli. And our father here, say hi.
Hi viewers, my name is Nick Gitau Wandaru, born again. I'm married, also married for 36 years.
Wow.
With a beautiful girl known as Kezia Gitau. I have 3 daughters, and I have 6 grandchildren.
Wow. Okay.
4 boys, 5 boys and 1 girl.
Wow.
Mm.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Thank you so much. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Njoroge, as you can hear, grandchildren are wanakuja wakiongezeka as we come to this end. We thank God because of that. And I like that kind of introduction because it's now everybody and our viewers now know that I have fathers here. And maybe we can get deep to that topic of fathers. And maybe I can ask my dad here, who is a father?
According to me,
Mhm.
a father is one who knows the responsibility of bringing up another generation to the world
Wow.
and caring for them.
Wow. That's good. And maybe our brother Njoroge, you can also add on to that. What makes a father?
I would say there are 2 angles to being a father.
Okay.
There is a spiritual angle,
Yeah.
where you can say you're a spiritual father,
Mhm.
and then you can say you're also a biological father.
Yeah.
You might be a spiritual father, but without biological children,
Mhm.
or you can be a spiritual father with both spiritual and biological children.
Mm.
So I would say that what makes a father is that the ability to bring up children, whether spiritual or biological, and you are able to take care of them. And I would say really mentor them and set them on their feet so that at the end of it all, they're able to stand on their feet and like take over the mantle from you. They can be fathers or parents in future, and they are people who can stand up by themselves and be people that can be counted in the society as responsible.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they can take care of themselves and take care of others. I mean, like the circle of life.
Yes.
So you bring up children, they grow up, they move on to the next level, they bring up children, and the cycle continues.
The cycle continues.
Yes.
Wow, I like that way of illustrating it, and it's important that. And I've heard 2 words from our 2 fathers here were said about responsibility. You know that father is defined by responsibilities. Maybe our dad
Yes.
right here. What are some of these responsibilities that we are talking about? What are they?
In a nutshell, I think a father, as my brother Joroge here has said,
Yeah.
is somebody who is responsible, somebody who will put confidence in his or his children,
Yes.
somebody who will give a cover to the children, somebody who will give them resources,
Yeah.
somebody who will also continue and give them identity, because children have to be identified with the
Yes.
father.
Yes.
And more so, a father being responsible, then he's going to provide an inheritance for these children.
True.
So a father is composed, has to produce all those things so that he is seen to be a successful, all an able father for his children.
Wow. That's true. That's true. And maybe our dad here, the question of bringing these children to the level of being responsible, also like our brother Njoroge said. How are we in these days, or rather in your time? Probably, let me ask, how was it bringing up children?
During our times, which it was a bit difficult because we were not from our background, the way we were brought up by the grandfather or our fathers, who today they are the grandfathers of our children.
Yeah.
It was not easy because we had to be caned for anything. Anytime we had to face a cane. Today, the way we brought up our children, we had to bring them in the godly way. At least when they were young, you teach them the way to go to the Sunday school, to respect their Sunday school teacher, to respect their Bible class teacher, and also to be responsible, giving them the responsibilities if they are young girls, it was the role of our wives or our wife to try and mold these children or mold these girls to be mothers one day.
That's true.
For us fathers, it is our role to mold these young boys and young men, for that matter, when they graduate to be men,
Yes.
to be responsible fathers one day. So that is one of the areas that we had really been looking for. And by God's grace,
Yes.
at least it has not been easy, but by God's grace we have made it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because we must teach them the way to live in a godly way.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And maybe Dad, also let me ask this question, because we are seeing because we are talking about fathers are responsible. We have seen in our generation now, my generation, that is not it's not happening. You know, the fathers nowadays are just not responsible enough. You know, they are not taking up the responsibilities that comes with being a father. Tell us, what is the danger of not being responsible as a father? What will go wrong eventually in the kids and in the family as a whole?
Thank you very much. But rather, before I go to that,
All right.
I would say that our father, and the greater problem that we have today is that we are having fathers who have not committed them from the beginning. They have not known and realized the responsibility that is ahead of them. I was remembering a man by the name Manoah in the book of Genesis chapter 13.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that when the wife was visited by an angel, and he was given a promise of having a son, and he was told the things that he was to do for that son, because he was to be set for the work of God.
Yeah.
But I have seen a responsible father. This is Manoah.
Yeah.
When he heard from the father, the Bible tells us that in verse 8, that Manoah went, prayed unto the Lord, and he requested the Lord to pardon him, because he wanted to hear himself what was to come forth, so that he may be prepared to take over the responsibility.
Yeah.
And I would say that the greatest danger that we have, many fathers are entering into institutions of marriage without being prepared. They have different aspects and different attitudes and different opinions as far as marriage is concerned.
Yeah.
I would say that entering into marriage life is entering into a high responsibility.
Yes.
Knowing that from there you have a wife to take care of. From there you have people that will come from your union, and they will need your attention. Many fathers today, they are not available for these people.
Wow.
Many times, I don't know whether it is because of the issue of problem with the economy, that people are very busy. They are waking up very early, sleeping very late, and rarely finding time for their children.
Wow.
And because of that, you find that we are bringing up a generation that has no role model. It has never seen a father playing the role of a father. Because I remember when I was young, our father used to call us, and we could sit down, and he could ask us questions. I remember one time my father asking me, assuming that today you are with your wife in the kitchen, and all of a sudden he places milk on fire, and when it is about to come up, he leaves the place. What would you do if that milk would come up and about to outpour?
Yes.
I told him I would lash and then I remove it from the fire.
Yeah.
You know, he abused me. He told me I'm a fool, because that is not your responsibility.
Okay.
This is the responsibility of your wife. But you see, now things have changed. It is not the way we were being brought up. Today, we are depending on what the wives are bringing at home. We are depending on what we are bringing at home. But the biggest role is for you as a father to be there for your children. to correct them,
Yes.
to mold them, to encourage them when they do wrong, and allow them to ask you questions,
Yes.
and give them an opportunity to see how you are behaving in the house, so that they will imitate that and carry it forward.
Yes.
Today we have adopted children. We have children that they have no figure they can refer as a role model when the issue of the father comes, and that is the greatest danger we have today.
It is the greatest tragedy that we can have.
Yes.
And I don't know what will happen if kids are brought now into the family and the father is nowhere to be found. And even if he's available in terms of physical availability, but time-wise, he's not there. Our dad, the dangers of not having time for your kids and family as a father. What are some of the dangers, and what can go wrong in times like that when you're so busy but there is no time for your kids?
What has happened in our day-to-day life, you find that most of the fathers have abdicated their duties. Their responsibility, they have handed it over to their wives. So in most cases, you find it is their wives who are there in the house, and the sons and daughters are getting a good example of their mother, the way the mother acts.
Yeah.
The way the mother will even come and talk, ask the father, why didn't you come with the bread? Then the father would say, maybe, and maybe he's drunk. And when you come to the Christian circles or Christian houses, you find the father will say, maybe he did not get a job that day. So he did not come with the bread. So in reality, our fathers in the olden days, you find that they would make sure that they came with something. I remember one time our bishop told us that the children of some families, they hated even coming to the church with their dad, especially if the dad was a pastor. And he would not come with any bread or a piece of meat on Sunday. He would come with the Bible and tell the child to take this Bible, place it on the table or on the cupboard.
Yeah.
So these children will ask themselves, who is this God that our dad is serving? Yet cannot give him money to purchase the things we find in our neighbor's house where the children are enjoying. So you find that in reality, this issue also of economies, it has played a role in making sure that the fathers are not living to the standard the way we would see some fathers who are not even saved. They would take care of their families well, and those who were Christian families, you find that they were even yearning or longing to belong to such families where a father would provide. So, as I said, the fathers have abdicated their duties. And the danger is the children will start now searching or looking for their own ways to cover up that gap that is there. So what are they going to do? They will be enticed very easily and enter to drugs, because this is where they will find comfort. The daughters, you find they will be wooed and in such a way that you find them going into early marriages, because the father is not protecting, is not giving them that covering I mentioned about, is not providing the resources that are required in the homestead. And then what do? They want to eat, they want the best shoes, they want good clothing, all that kind of thing. So how do they get it? So they will break away from the setup of the marriage. And in the final analysis, you find them, they get lost.
Wow. This is getting on another level. And maybe before we go to our first break, Mr. Njoroge, we are seeing the issue of missing fathers currently in our generation. And because they are not there in terms of giving time, in terms of providing. What would be your, your advice to these young people who are getting into marriages and becoming fathers, but still they are losing it in terms of being responsible?
I'll pick up from where I left. I would say fatherhood is hands-on, and fatherhood is a lifetime role.
Okay.
The time you have a child, it means that this child will be looking up unto you, like he said, for direction. And as direction does not just say that you will be the do's and the don'ts. Most and the best way for this child to learn is when they see what you're doing or how are you behaving. I mean, if you're telling the kid that drunkenness is not a good thing, but then the next thing you're the one coming home, like chapa maji sawa sawa. I mean, what example is that?
Yeah, true.
And they will learn more from what they are seeing you do than what you say.
True.
And sometimes it is important that whatever you're doing at home, whether it is farming or sewing or playing football or wherever, let them see it from the dad.
Yes.
That way, it also gives them the confidence that, and this experience will be when they grow up, they say, I saw my dad doing this.
Yeah.
And that way, some of these things, when they learn, it will never come out of their minds because they learned it practically from you. Now, you find children who are growing up without fathers. Let me say this. The best person to teach a man to be a man is another man.
True.
Not a woman.
No.
And you will find most of the time children of women or single parents or single mothers, they seem like they are groping in the dark because nobody showed them what it means to be a man. They have grown up with their mother all through, but they didn't have that part of the father. And that way, there's something that you will not find in them. Either they don't have the confidence enough of a man, or they will be on the other side, on the extreme side.
Yeah.
They hate anything to do with a man because everything is mom.
Yeah.
By the way, have you noticed that some of the children and their sons, when they are talking about anything, they always say, my mom this, my mom that, my mom this.
True.
And it's nowhere, the father is no longer there. They will never say, my dad did this because the dad was absent.
Was not there.
And I think it is high time that the fathers arose so that they can take up their position.
Yeah.
And I would say to the young people who have been brought up into single mothers' homes, there's a neighbor you can look up to. There's an uncle you can look up to. There's a mzee in church you can look up to. Please get close to a man that you see his family is doing well. He has stood in his family and is bringing up his family well. And there you are going to get wisdom. You're going to get how to bring up a family. And it doesn't have to be when you're young. Even now when you're older, I'm assuming 18, 19, 20 and above.
Yeah.
You can still get another mzee who can help you to walk the journey or the marriage journey. And I would say don't wait for this person to look for you.
True.
You are the one who knows what is eating you up. Please move closer to the mzee. Let the mzee walk with you.
Yes.
Ask questions. Visit the mzee. Have that close relationship. That way, there are nuggets that you'll be getting here and there that you may not have got from when you're growing up from a single parent. And by the way, it may not just be necessarily from a single parent. Some things, there's wisdom that you'll get from associating with the older men, even though you had a father.
Yeah.
But now that you're older, you can associate yourself with another older man, and this man may give you wisdom to help you to another level.
True.
Like we say, no man is an island, and nobody is an island of wisdom. So, assuming your father had a wisdom of 30%, and then you combine with another mzee's wisdom of 20%, I mean, you're already at 50.
Yeah.
Then you meet another one who gives you 10%, you're 60.
Yeah, true.
And that way, by the time you're hitting 40, 50, 60 years, you're full of wisdom as well, and you can take up other young men and bring them up as well.
True.
Okay.
Wow. Amazing. And when you're talking, I have so many questions that I would really want us to talk about. Keep talking to us. We will have your question answered in our next episode. Remember, today we are talking about fatherhood. of fathers in general, because this is the month of fathers. June is always the month of fathers. And where else can we get this knowledge from? It's only from these men who are born again, and they are responsible fathers. That's where we can get good example from. So karibu sana, even as we continue. So karibuni sana tena.
Thank you.
Asante.
Okay, so we left it at Mr. Njoroge talking to us about talking to young men. And I could get there's something that you said about if you're playing football, if you're in doing farming, involve the sons, involve your kids also in doing that, and that way you'll be able to bring up them in good example, I would say, of yourself. And I like that. And I remembered when you were talking about the same thing happened to Jesus. His father was a carpenter.
Yes.
And he also became a carpenter in that process. So, and of course we follow Christ, and that Joseph was a responsible father.
Indeed.
According to what you have told us. Yes. And let me come to you, our dad. And he was talking also about the way men need to come and find wisdom and get wisdom from the fathers. Are fathers approachable? Because there was a time I was asked that by a young person that the father seems to be far away. Are fathers approachable?
Definitely, I can answer that question and say fathers are approachable. You only need to engage them. Just like our brother here, Mr. Jologa, has said, it's up to the young men to come and look for fathers.
Okay.
Of course, you cannot go looking for every father, because you must know exactly what you really want when you are looking for a father.
Yes.
One, you have to look for somebody who you've seen that his way of life is a man who is walking upright in a Christian way. Not those men on the other side.
Yes.
Because actually we should also respect your salvation.
Yes.
At the same time, you should also look for a man who you know that when I approach him, he will be ready for me.
Yes.
I can give myself as a casing study, because I left my parent when I was like 12 years, and I went to live far away. And I had to look for mentor fathers, right? Even by the time I finished my secondary school and my college, and when I joined my place of work, God helped me to look for old men, actually who are like almost the age of my dad, who could also mentor me. And they did a lot. And they were able to educate me, I mean, in the way of life, the way a man should.
Yes.
Even before I was married, they were telling me the stories of being a married man and how you should take care of your family. Yes. So the best thing, and what I can advise the young men, even those in secondary school, look for a mentor. He could be your teacher. He could be your pastor. He could be the next mzee who is a good neighbor. And especially if you have those dad that we call, the dad is there, but he's looked like an absent father. Yeah. Because definitely one should remember that one day you'll be a man.
True.
You'll be a family man. Yes. So you must be ready to do your proper hunting and get for a mentor. And I'm telling you, old men or even middle married men like Mr. Jologe here, they are always ready. Their hearts are there.
True.
And any young man can come and, and say, Mzee, I want to talk to you. Dad, give me an opportunity. And surely you get some help. Yeah. So I can advise him, don't shy off. Be courageous. Be courageous. That's and true. You see the help.
Wow.
Thank you.
They are ready. That's the answer that we are getting. They are ready and waiting for you. And our dad, there's a question that I want to pull from what he's saying. The things that the young men are doing in the process of them getting married, they are trying to do things on their own without seeking counsel from their fathers or the elderly men who are like their fathers. And you find that they are not doing things right, even in terms of paying the dowry, even in times of, there was a time I had a case even the young man who was going for circumcision looked for other young men to take him to circumcision, and it was a danger. Let me ask this question: what should the young people do, especially in that process of getting into marriage? What are they supposed to look for in a man, and who are these fathers that they need to look for to help them walk the right direction?
If we go directly to the Bible, in the book of Genesis, you find that when Isaac was to get married, his father Abraham prepared everything that was to be taken to where the girl was to be found, to the girl's father. So you can see Abraham was a father who was there, was available, had the resources, provided the resources for the son, and the son got a good wife, Rebecca. And from there we know the history.
Yes.
So in case of our men today, our young men, at times the culture and what is happening around them, you find they look at the old wazes or us as their fathers. They find sometimes they see us if we don't have the resources. Resources, it is not only about money.
Yes.
It is about the intellect we have, the wisdom and the knowledge we have. And they can come to us. We can give them that knowledge, that wisdom, free of charge, even when they are looking for ladies, for a girl to marry. In most cases nowadays, you find a gentleman will go look for a lady. He will come introduce the lady to the parents or to the father. And at times you find it is when it is realized that they are connected. They are somehow distantly, they are connected. So this becomes a case which can become like an abomination in the society. So what our sons need to do, as Baba Shiro said, is we are there. We are free, and they can come to us. Seek the information they want. We'll give them freely. The Bible says freely we have been given. So freely we will give as we have been given. When it comes to assisting them with the resources, we are going to come to them, but they don't approach us. Not that we are not approachable. I keep on even complaining to the main committee. I tell them at times, these guys do not come to us, or they don't even greet the fathers around the church. But when they want to get married, that is when they will come looking for you. They will start greeting you. Now tell me what I will feel. Okay, I'll give them something, but not exactly what if we were in a good relationship, because fatherhood and a sonship, it is all about relationship.
That's true.
You have to start calculating or building a relationship from the beginning.
True.
Not that when you just want to get married, that is the time you are going to look for your fathers. So in this case, it is good that they start realizing we have all the resources. Wisdom, we have it. We have knowledge. We have the resources. Even if I don't have the finances, I can invite my fellow Odoazers, and they'll give something. We are very readily available for them. Let them come to us.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that response. Father to son is a relationship. Father-son is a relationship. I don't know what that would you add onto that father-son relationship. How strong do we need to make it?
During our times, there was that relationship between the father and the son, and the relationship between the girl and the mother. Girls were being trained or brought up in the way to be right mothers by their mothers.
Okay.
Boys were being trained how to grow up to be responsible fathers by their fathers.
Yes.
But now the case you find today is that the sons are coming to us only when they are in need, as our brother has said, just said.
Yes.
That is time you have been nicknamed as a father, because I would call it a nickname.
Yeah.
Because they are daddy, we are going on such a day. This is what we are needed. But after that, that name is far much forgotten. Wow. And that is the problem that we have. And you see, initially, you would be asked when you make a mistake, who is this that you work with that does not correct you? Because we find a lot of mistakes that happens today. Yeah. Like we have a case very recently. Young men just teamed up and went very far to in-laws, and then they started negotiating the marriage.
Wow. And
when they were asked, are you orphans? They said, no, we are not. Where are the fathers? They are at home. Then we would like to see the fathers and your mothers if possible. Yeah. That is the time they came to us. Now you see, even if we go, still those people have a question. There's no relationship.
Yeah, true.
Because you see, as I had said also, during our times, you'd go and see the girl and befriend the girl. Yes. When you befriend the girl and then she accepts, she can marry you. Yes. You go to your father. True. Your father is the one who tells you, yes, that family is okay. We can marry from that family. And the father is the one who takes the responsibility of meeting those parents. From there, you don't have to do anything until you are going to go ahead just to prepare for the marriage. True. But what is happening today? The young men have taken over. They don't want our counsel. No. They don't want our advice, just because it has not been there from the beginning. Yeah. And that is the biggest challenge that you are having today. That because you have just started earning and you feel that you are a man, you can do everything. Yeah. So we need to dig this relationship issue from the beginning. True. Let's do it at home. Let's do it at church. Because I understand. Even one of us had mentioned, they are spiritual fathers. Yes. And God has placed us in this church or in our community to be guardians of those upcoming sons who have no fathers. True. Unfortunately, there are others who don't have for their fathers. They are orphans, and the others who are single mothers. Yes. But we are there for them. True. Just to come to you young men who are hearing us, please, we will encourage you. Find us. Yes. Let's have time together. True. Let's talk together. Let's talk general things together. Come and seek counsel. Yes. Whatever issue you are passing through, be free to come and speak to us. We are available for you. We are there for you. And we help you as much as we would be able by the help and the grace of God. So we are available. Ken, please tell these guys we are available for them. True. We need this relationship even before he reaches that stage of being getting married. Yes. We are not just fathers because he is getting married. We are fathers even when he's growing up.
That's true.
At age 63, that's the age I am now. Wow. I recall those men, old men, some are alive, some are not, who counseled me when I was a young man of 18 years, and I still respect them. So what David is saying is when you go a certain journey with that man or that old papa, and he gives you a proper advice, you always be remembering him. And you always be ready, even willing to support him even when he becomes an old man. That's true. Because actually you have a debt in his life, because somehow, somewhere, he took you through a journey when your dad or when your mom was absent in your life. That's true. So it's very, very important. And actually, Ken, that should be an emphasis that we should be telling our young men, our middle-aged men, those who married yesterday, and those who are to marry even tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. Wow, wonderful. Njoroge, you wanted to add?
I wanted to say, as much as the three wazes here are available and they're saying that the young men should come from them, I want to address slightly different the issue of relationships.
Okay.
Father-son relationship. What I've found as a challenge today, and maybe that is why you see young people look like they're shying away from the wazes, is what relationship did they have with their father, biological father?
Okay, yeah.
Because number one, maybe their father was harsh, maybe their father was not available, maybe they come from a single mother's home, and now for them to, they didn't have that relationship when they're growing up. Now they have reached a level where they don't have a father figure in them.
Yes.
I want to address particularly the issue of fathers who are a bit harsh, or they didn't have a relationship with their children when they were young.
Yeah.
You'll find this young man, yes, he'll grow up, he knows that is my father, but he doesn't want anything to do with his father. He says, yes, you are my father, but you didn't teach me anything.
Yeah.
But, well, I want to challenge the fathers that as the children, as we're bringing up children, including myself,
yes,
as you're bringing up children, especially sons, let us have that relationship, that the children have confidence in you. They can tell you anything.
Yes.
They can come to you at whatever time, and it wouldn't be scolding all the time. It will be, you give them a listening ear, you will counsel them, you will help them, and then when they grow up, they know, hey, I have a problem here. I can always talk to my dad.
That's true.
I can always talk to my mom.
That's true.
I mean, that relationship must always be cultivated. And as it grows up like this, as much as we have other people who can step in as our fathers to mentor us and to help us in this journey of life, if we have this relationship from the first place, it will be easier for the young people to have this relationship with fathers at an older age.
That's true. That's true. And speaking of father-son relationship, and also looking at it at your point of view, I have had cases where somebody or some people saying that fathers are not even probably even going for their visiting days for their kids in school. What would you add on to what you're saying about that?
I would say that is one of the areas where you need to cultivate relationships. Like when we started, I said fatherhood is fully hands-on.
Yes.
You need to, for example, younger kids who are in primary school, you need to, like in the today's generation, they're being given a lot of homeworks. As a father, do you know what kind of homework they're doing? Did they complete their homeworks? When there's a visiting day in school, do you go to school? Do you talk to their teachers?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be able to follow up and understand, how is my child's progress?
That's true.
And that way, you're also able to understand, these are the strengths of my son, and I can be able to guide them or him to the career that I think, based on what I'm seeing in his strength, he can go this direction.
True.
And I would want to challenge the fathers. Let us be going for this visiting. Personally, I made a decision that I will always want to see what my children are doing.
Yeah.
I will check what homework they are doing. Even the handwriting, I want to see what they're writing.
Yeah.
Because I want them to present them in future to be people that when you're communicating, even in writing, I mean, your handwriting is readable.
It is.
And whatever you're presenting, somebody can read. And by the way, as you grow up and you're able to write and explain yourself clearly, it helps the children to grow up in confidence.
Yeah.
And they become bold, and they become people who can stand before a crowd and express themselves and in whatever area.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Maybe even as we continue, because I think time is almost over. Maybe you can contribute and also give us your parting
shots. I just
shots.
wanted to say in a nutshell again that a father figure is very important in a family where children are growing.
Yes.
It is the work of the father. Joroge Sei talked about responsibility.
Yeah.
It is the responsibility of the father to make sure that the children are being trained in the way they ought to go. The Bible talks about that.
Yeah.
That when you train a child in the way they ought to go in a Christian manner, they will never move away from it.
True.
It is also the responsibility of a father to discipline the children to discipline those
Mhm.
children,
Yes.
so that if they are going wayward, then they can be brought back to the track.
True.
It is the work of the father to circumcise or to remove any fresh part. The fresh part meaning that they are going in a manner that you did not teach them.
Yeah.
So when you are there and maybe you talk or you tell them this is not the way they ought to go in this manner, then they will change their attitude.
That's
So
true.
it is in all,
Mhm.
a father figure is very important.
That's
And
true.
those who do not have a father,
Mhm.
Brother Nick talked about
Yes.
looking for somebody, either
Yes.
your uncle
Yes.
who is behaving well, so they can copy, they can see examples.
Yes.
And from there, or a teacher in a certain school, and this child will grow and will not lack that father figure.
That's true. Wow. I don't know if time will allow us for us to give our two fathers a parting shot. But allow me that we get to that point and we close it at that point. And I promise you this, that we will have them in our next episode or one of our episodes, and we continue to talk about these real life issues that are affecting us men and even as fathers, and even the father-son relationship. So keep it PrayerCave TV. Don't move an inch, and keep enjoying our programs wherever you are. My name is Ken Campbell, and this is Being One.